Today is Thursday, April 30th, and we'll be reading Judges 20 and 21.
All right. 20.
Who's going to be in May?
The bird. Wait. What's that? The bird is in there?
The bird was.
Okay, so for the first time, the birds are going into their little house. Yes.
This guy likes the
They've had it for a while, but this is the first time they're going in. So
They've already gone into the bath.
Yeah, they've gone to the bath now.
So it's caused some stir in entertainment. Okay, so find your spot. Did you find your spot?
Tomorrow. No.
We're going to be done. Oh yes, tomorrow. What's that? Okay, so we're reading 20 and 21. We're reading Thursday. Tomorrow we start May, and we get to flip to the next sheet. You're right.
And when it's 13, it'll be Josh's birthday.
You're right, in May. And Daddy's is on the 10th. And Grandpa's is on the 8th. No, mine's not for a while. But we have lots of birthdays
So
coming up.
Grandpa, then Daddy,
Then Josh. Yep.
No, Matt. Mine's Daddy out of me.
And Grandpa too. All right, y'all ready? Find your spots. 20 and 21. And Jasper too. Yes.
Daddy.
The children of Israel punished the Benjamites. All the children of Israel from Dan to Beersheba and also from the land of Gilead went out and gathered together in an assembly as one man before the Lord at Mizpah. The leaders of all the people from all the tribes of Israel presented themselves in an assembly of the people of God, who numbered 400,000 infantrymen bearing swords. The Benjamites heard that the children of Israel had gone up to Mizpah. The children of Israel said, Tell how this evil happened. So the Levite, the husband of the murdered woman, answered, My concubine and I came to Gibeah in Benjamin to spend the night. Then the leaders of Gibeah rose up against me. At night they surrounded the house where I was staying. They wanted to kill me. Instead, they ravished my concubine so that she died. I seized my concubine, cut her into pieces, and sent her throughout all the territory of Israel, because they committed an infamous and disgraceful act in Israel. Now all of you are children of Israel. Give your advice and counsel here. All the people arose as one man and said, Not a man among us will go to his tent, and no one will turn aside to his house. Now this is what we will do. We will do to Gibeah. We will go against it by lot. We will take 10 men out of every 100 from every tribe of Israel, 100 from every 1,000, and 1,000 from every 10,000, to bring provisions for the troops. Then, when they come to Gibeah and Benjamin, they may repay them for all the evil that they committed in Israel. So all the men of Israel gathered at the city, united like one man. The tribes of Israel sent men throughout the whole tribe of Benjamin, saying, What is this evil that has been committed among you? Now hand over the wicked man in Gibeah, so that we can kill them and purge the evil from Israel. Yet the Benjamites were not willing to listen to their fellow children of Israel. The Benjamites gathered from their cities at Gibeah in order to go out and wage war against the children of Israel. That day the Benjamites mustered 26,000 armed men from the cities and 700 specially chosen men from Gibeah. Out of all these people there were 700 specially chosen men who were left-handed, all of whom could sling a stone at a hair and not miss.
Oh, wow.
The men of Israel, apart from Benjamin, gathered 400,000 armed men who drew the sword. All of them were men of war. The children of Israel arose, went up to Bethel, and asked God, Who should go up first to wage war against the Benjamites? The Lord said, Judah first. The children of Israel got up in the morning and camped against Gibeah. The men of Israel went out for battle with Benjamin, and the men of Israel lined up for battle at Gibeah. Then the Benjamites came out of from Gibeah, and struck 22,000 Israelite men down to the ground. The people, the men of Israel, rallied and lined up for battle again in the place where they had lined up on the first day. Then the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening. They asked the Lord, "Should we advance and fight our brother tribesmen, the Benjamites again?" The Lord said, "Advance against them." So the children of Israel advanced against the Benjamites for the second day. And on the second day the Benjamites went out from Gibeah to meet them, and again struck 18,000 men down to the ground, every one of them armed. Then all the children of Israel, all the people, went up to Bethel, where they wept and sat before the Lord. They fasted that day until evening and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. The children of Israel asked the Lord, because the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days, and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it then, should we go out against to wage war with our brother tribesmen, the Benjamites, or should we not? The Lord said, "Go up, for tomorrow I will give them into your hands." So Israel set an ambushing force around Gibeah. The children of Israel went up against the Benjamites on the third day and lined up at Gibeah as before. The Benjamites went out to engage the people and were drawn away from the city. They began to strike the people down as before. On the main roads that go up to Bethel and Gibeah and in the field, they struck down about 30 children of Israel. The Benjamites said, "They are struck down before us like at the beginning." But the children of Israel said, "Let us retreat and draw them away from the city toward the main roads." So all the men of Israel rose up out of their place and assumed their battle positions at Baal Tamar. And the men of Israel, in ambush, charged out of their places, out of the meadows of Gibeah. 10,000 specially chosen men from all of Israel came against Gibeah. The battle was fierce, and the Benjamites did not know that disaster was upon them. The Lord defeated Benjamin before Israel, and that day the children of Israel struck down 25,100 Benjamites, every one of them armed. The Benjamites saw that they were defeated. Now the men of Israel had withdrawn from Benjamin because they relied on the men in ambush whom they had set against Gibeah. So the ambushing force rushed on and attacked Gibeah. They struck down the whole city with the edge of the sword. The men of Israel had made an agreement with the ambushing force that when they set up a large amount of smoke from the city, the children of Israel would turn around in battle. When the Benjamites had begun to strike the children of Israel down, about 30 men, they said, "Surely they are struck down before us like at the beginning." Yet when the smoke began to rise up from the city in the column, the Benjamites looked around behind them and suddenly noticed that the whole city going up in smoke to the sky. Then the men of Israel turned around, and the men of Benjamin were horrified because they saw that disaster had come on them. So they fled from the men of Israel toward the direction of the wilderness. But the battle overtook them. Whoever came out of the cities destroyed them in their midst. They surrounded the Benjamites, chased them without rest, and trampled them down near Gibeah toward the east. 18,000 men from Benjamin fell. All these were men of valor. The rest turned and fled toward the wilderness to Rimmon Rock, and they cut down 5,000 men on the main roads. They pursued them relentlessly until they reached Gidom and killed 2,000 of them. So the Benjamites who fell that day numbered 25,000, every one of them armed, valorous men. However, 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to Rimmon Rock. They dwelled at Rimmon Rock for 4 months. Yet the men of Israel turned back against the Benjamites and struck them with the edge of the sword, city, inhabitants, animals, and everything that could be found. Indeed, they set on fire every city that could be found. Wives for the Benjamites. In Mizpah, the men of Israel had taken an oath: "No one among us will give his daughter to a Benjamite as his wife." So the people came to Bethel and sat there before God until evening. They raised their voices and wept, sobbing loudly. They said, "Why, Lord God of Israel, has this happened in Israel, that today a tribe is missing from Israel?" In the morning, the people got up early and built an altar there. They offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. The children of Israel said, "Who from all the tribes of Israel did not go up with the assembly to the Lord?" For they vowed a solemn oath regarding whoever did not go up to the Lord at Mizpah, stating, "He must be killed." The children of Israel lamented for Benjamin, their brother, and said, "One tribe is cut off from Israel today. What can we do to find wives for those who are left? For we swore by the Lord not to give them our daughters as wives." So they said, "Is there anyone from among the tribes of Israel who did not go up to the Lord at Mizpah?" Then they learned that no one from the camp of Jabesh Gilead had come to the assembly. When the people were counted, indeed there was not a man there from among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead. So the assembly sent 12,000 valorous men there and commanded them, "Go and strike down the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, including women and children. This is what you will do. You will kill every man and every woman who has slept with a man." So among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead they found 400 young virgins who had never slept with a man, and they brought them to the camp at Shiloh in the land of Canaan. Then the whole assembly sent someone to speak to the Benjamites who were at Rimmon Rock, and they declared peace. So the Benjamites returned at that time, and they gave to them the women who were still alive from among the women of Jabesh Gilead, yet they did not find enough for them. The people felt sorry for Benjamin, for the Lord had made a gap among the tribes of Israel. The elders of the assembly said, "What can we do to find wives for those who are left?" The Benjamin women were destroyed. They said, "There must be an inheritance from the remnant of Benjamin, so that a tribe will not be wiped out from Israel. Yet we cannot give them our daughters for wives." For the children of Israel swore, "Cursed be anyone who gives a wife to Benjamin." They said, "Wait, there is an annual festival of the Lord in Shiloh, which is north of Bethel, east of the main road that goes up from Bethel to Shechem, and south of Lebanon." So they commanded the Benjamites, "Go and hide in the vineyards. Watch, and when the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in the dances, come out from the vineyards, and every man grab a wife for himself from among the daughters of Shiloh. Then go to the land of Benjamin. When the fathers or their brothers come to us to complain, we will say to them, Be favorable to them for our sakes, because we did not take for each man a wife in the battle, for you have not given women to them at the time, therefore making yourselves guilty." So the Benjamites did this. They carried away wives for each man from among the dancers that they caught. Then they returned to their inheritance, rebuilt the cities, and lived in them. At the time the children of Israel departed from there, each man to his tribe and to his family. They went out from there to their own inheritance. In those days there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes.
That is Judges.
21.
We're done with Judges.
Bye. Okay, please subscribe. Hope you like this video. Please leave a like or a comment. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.